Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I just want to start by saying a massive thank you for all of the really lovely comments on my previous video where I was talking about why I had a bit of a break from filming on YouTube, and I actually bumped into one of you the other day, which was lovely. I always really appreciate it when people stop me and say hello and say that they like my videos and things. So yes, I am still here in the Philippines. Thank you for all being so patient. And if I'm honest, the weather hasn't been great recently. Not that I want to dive straight into weather chat, but I feel like all it has done for like the last 5 days is rain. Grey skies and rain. So we haven't really been up to very much. I don't really have anything planned for this afternoon, but it hasn't rained in the last hour. The sky is still super grey and cloudy, but I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that it's not going to rain for a little bit. So I am going to go down to the supermarket and get some food shopping, and I thought I would bring you all along with me because I'm going to go to a couple of different shops which are like my favourite shops for buying groceries out here, and I thought I could take you along because I get people asking a lot about what's available to buy in the Philippines, how much things cost. So I thought, I'll bring you all food shopping with me. I'll show you the kind of things that we buy, some of the things that you will be quite surprised that are quite expensive out here, things that are decent priced, and just my favourite shops to get the products from. I'll show you around so you can see how grey and gloomy it has been. So I mean, this is as bright as it's been for a few days, but like normally you can't even really see much in the background here. It's just thick grey clouds, and it's normally raining a lot, but as you can see it's not currently raining. So I'm going to take advantage and brave going outside. I will make sure to have my umbrella in my bag though, but I'm really hoping it doesn't rain just for a couple of hours whilst I go down to High Street. So I have made it to High Street now, and this is where the shops are that I go to. I find it super convenient because it's only like a 5-minute walk, and all of these shops are basically next door to each other, so it's then not as annoying to have to go to a few different shops. Landmark is the shop where we do the majority of our shopping, and a lot of the time I will just go there, but once a week, once a fortnight, I like to try and go to all of these stores just to get all the different bits that I want. So I'm just at the crossing now, and the first place that we're going to go is into 1 Bonifacio here, which is like the mall, but we're going to go down to the basement floor, and there's just 2 shops there that I like. So we're going to go down the escalator now, and the first thing I'm going to get is some bread. There's a little bakery stand down here, and one thing that I have found is that the bread in the supermarkets here is super sweet, and I do not like it. So I like to get the bread from over here, which is this one here in the corner called Needletail Bakehouse. Hello, can I have 1 sourdough please? There you go, thank you. Thank you. That is the bread secured. And then down here, there's also a big marketplace. So Marketplace is a good place to shop, but my favourite things at Marketplace, I don't actually need anything from here today, but is their deli section. So this section, as you just walk in, they've got all of the different cured meats, and then they also have loads of different cheeses, but they're all like different international cheeses. So they've got some English cheddar at the back there. So you can get them from this section here, but then they also have like a stand here, and then they always have a really good selection of fruit and vegetables, and they just look so beautiful. But one thing you will notice is everything is wrapped in plastic. Like every single thing is wrapped in plastic, and then they wonder why in the Philippines they have a plastic waste issue. But like I said, I don't actually need anything from in Marketplace today, but this is the best place to come for like your meats and cheeses. It is a little bit more expensive, but it's because it's all imported. But yeah, you can do a full shop in Marketplace. I just prefer Landmark. When we lived over in Makati, that's where we used to do our food shopping all of the time. But now we're here in BGC. Landmark is my favourite. So we'll go on to the next shop. So there's one more stop before we go across to Landmark. So we're just leaving the back of this mall. So we've just come up the escalator and we're just leaving out of the back here. And then we're going to turn right. And then when you make it to the main road, there's Landmark, and then the other shop we're going to is just round this corner here. And this is why I just love this little stretch of stores, because they are all within like a minute of each other, so it's super easy to get a good selection of things. So like fresh bread from the bakery. Next we're going to Santi's, which is a deli where you can also get really nice meats and cheeses, but they do English sausages. So we like to come here to get our English sausages, which is what I am coming to get tonight. And then I will go into Landmark and get the majority of our food shopping. I don't do like a full weekly shop. I normally just get food for a few days, just because I am walking and carrying it. So yeah. This is Santi's here. So let's hope they've got some sausages in. Hello. So come to the freezer section here, and this is where they've got all of the different sausages. And they've got English sausages with apple and normal English. So we'll get 2 of the ones with apple and 1 normal. But they've got things like salmon, they've got different steaks. You can get duck down there, which you don't really see duck very often out here in the Philippines. Frozen berries, they've got like German sausages, they've got frozen fresh pasta. I don't know if you can see at the top, different tortellini pastas. And then inside they just have like things from everywhere really, but they've got like a lot of European goods. Good selection of your cheeses. Borsan cheese is one of my favourites, and it's not something that you see very often out here in the Philippines, but they do have it here. That garlic butter looks delicious. They have fruit and veg again. They have a really good alcohol selection with all of the different wines. Then they've got good selection of like different olive oils, and then they've got all of the meats again. Cooked meats. and then cheeses down here. Just gonna buy my sausages. Then I've also got English baked beans. And then final stop, which is where we'll get the most shopping, is the Landmark. But we're here at the Landmark now. Let's go in. Grab a trolley. One already here. I'm gonna stick a basket on the bottom to put my bread and sausages in. So we'll start in the fruit and veg section. This one here is even bigger than the marketplace one, and they have a really good selection of different things. Like any fruit and veg you could think of, they normally will have it. So obviously the things that are reasonably priced is your more tropical fruits, because that's what naturally grows out here. So like your mangoes are obviously delicious and a really good price. The pineapples are a good price, and bananas, these little local bananas, they're also a really good price. Whereas things like your strawberries, see if they've got any strawberries in today, can be quite expensive unless they're in season from Baguio. The imported strawberries are around 700 pesos, which is about £10. And in the UK, a punnet of strawberries is about £2, so they are so expensive compared. One of the other things that I have found to be really expensive is peppers. So like this pepper is 75 pesos, which is about £1, and in England you can get 3 peppers for £1. So I actually just need mushrooms today, so I don't know which ones I fancy. Swiss mushrooms, shiitake, white button mushrooms. This is what we're like used to in England, these kind of mushrooms. But these are for Chris and he's not too fussy. I'll try these ones. So these are 160 pesos. And then I need potatoes. Any British person knows that potatoes are a staple in the diet. So get these 2 big ones. Then I can make jacket potato, make mashed potato, can make homemade chips. So many options. Right. Then they've got a full little bakery section here. But as I said, I don't personally rate the bread out here. I find it far too sweet. Tea and coffee down that aisle we don't need. The tea is quite expensive, but it's imported. Again, like what else do I expect? So this is your selection of alternative milks. So if you have lactose intolerance or anything like that, like you do not need to worry about options out here in the Philippines, because they have everything. They have loads of different almond milks, pistachio milks, oat milks, soy milk, everything that you could possibly think of. I'm looking for the unsweetened almond breeze, which is what I normally buy every week, and they don't have it in today, so we'll move on and keep going. They also have a really good selection of cereal. They'll have ones that you'll recognise, like your Kellogg's cornflakes and Frosties, and then they've got a good selection of like American cereal as well, but I'm not really a cereal person. I need to get some chocolate, so we'll go down the chocolate aisle. Again, you'll see a good selection of different brands. So Goya is a local chocolate brand. You've got your Cadbury's, They have Nestle, so like your Kit Kats and Snickers and things. Hershey's, which is American chocolate. More of like a European chocolate. You've got Kinder, Toblerone. And then this is what we buy down here, which is this Lindt chocolate. And anybody that buys Lindt will know it is already quite expensive. So this one's 186 and this one's 214. Get one of each. We're at the fridge section now, where I could probably do with getting some cheese. So my favourite grated cheese out here is this Emborg red cheddar. This is the one that's got the most flavour. It's not as flavourful as British cheese, but it is actually a really nice cheese. And then I normally get Monterey Jack as well, so I get one each of those. But look, they do have cheeses kind of from everywhere. So that's a UK Red Leicester cheese. It's $395. They've got Manchego cheese. They've got Dutch cheese. You can get like halloumi. But obviously the imported stuff is normally quite expensive. And they have some deli meats, but you'll see that the selection here is tiny compared to a lot of the other shops. We'll get some eggs. We personally prefer brown eggs, so these are the organic ones. And these 204, chuck those in. Hello. And then come to the freezer section for some bacon. This is the one we get, the country bacon for 193. One thing that I find really interesting is how popular Spam is. I'm not personally a Spam eater, but Chris loves Spam. But they have everything in here. They have baked beans and tomato sauces. They've got pickled mango, olives. They have so many options. It's pretty crazy. I need to get a tomato paste, which is down here, because I'm going to make like a tomato pasta with my sausages, I think. I used to get passata in the UK and I can't seem to find that out here, so I just get tomato paste. And this is 32 pesos, so again, a really reasonable price. For a supermarket like this, which has a good mixture of imported goods and everything, it is going to be slightly more expensive because of the convenience of it. But I still personally find it a very reasonable price, especially to say we are in the centre of BGC. They have, which I was very shocked to see, Liam Perrin's sauce, which is from Sheffield, which is in Yorkshire in the UK, which is where I'm from. But like, they have things from everywhere, like American sauces, so many, like such a good selection. We've been able to try like so many different things that we wouldn't have been able to try before. And then this is the butcher's section. I'm going to get some beef. From this bit here. Hello, can I have 400 grams of the ground beef, please? 400, thank you. That's it, thank you. Thank you. So they've got loads of different imported things as well. Hello. I look at the steak selection that's here, all the different Japanese and American steaks. And then you'll find a massive chicken selection. My favourite brand is this one, Bounty Fresh. I find that that is the freshest option of chicken out here. It's the only one thing that I struggle with is the chicken. A lot of it comes with the bones in, which is not very popular in England. But I also find that the chicken goes off quite quickly. So again, I mean, it doesn't really matter because I come shopping every few days. But that's just something to be careful with the meat, is I do find it goes off quite quickly. I've come back to the fridge section because I need to get some cream. I just get this little tub because we'll get through it very quickly. And then I want some Greek yogurt as well. Greek yogurt is quite expensive out here, but I think it's quite expensive pretty much everywhere. But I'm tempted to try one of these. So that's Chobani, there's vanilla, they've got normal Greek yogurt, mango. Might just get the natural one because I'm going to have it with honey and some fruit. The prices on these is actually quite reasonable. These look delicious. Cookies and cream, triple chocolate brownie and strawberry shortcake. They sound absolutely delicious. Just decided I think I'm going to make burgers tomorrow, so I'm going to go and grab some salad bits to go with that. And then I think I'm pretty much done. I don't really need loads today. They also have a massive selection of crisps or chips, as you'll probably know them. And it's one of the only places that I have found that has English crisps in. So this brand here, Real Hand Cooked, these are actually made in the UK, and they've also got like baked ones again, made in the UK, so that's quite exciting. The similarity with like UK supermarkets is that you can buy your alcohol in the supermarket, so whilst you're doing your grocery shop. I think it's in places like America, you have to go to like a separate liquor store, but here you can just buy it when you buy your groceries. I'll go and pay now.
Mati ka niyan, basta dyan lang basta-basta. Tatanggapin ko lahat ng basta-basta. Nakaalis ko na ba?
Thank you.
Thank you, da.
Thank you. Thank you
ma'am.
very much. I also have this bakery section in here, which is from the French baker, and it all looks delicious. Then there's also this food to go corner over here where you can get potato corner, and then they also have a bread talk, so you can get loads of stuff in here. It's really handy. One thing I don't think I will ever get used to is seeing dogs in nappies, or I think they're called diapers, out here. But BGC is so pet friendly, and one of the rules for them going in like the supermarkets and shopping malls is that they have to wear diapers. So you always see dogs with diapers on. You will not see that in England. We'll start the walk back with all of my shopping, and I feel like it's trying to start raining. So I'm really hoping it will wait until I am back now so that I don't get drenched, and then I will tell you how much everything costs. I don't think there will ever be a day that I do not appreciate this view. Like, this whole part of BGC is absolutely beautiful. Like, the architecture that's gone into it is amazing, and it's still, after a year of being here, I am still in awe with what it all looks like. I've come under a bit with some shelter because it is starting to rain. You'd think that I would be used to the rain from living in England, but the rain the other day, we had to go to Aura, and it was a full-on thunderstorm that was happening when we were trying to leave, so we thought, oh, we'll just get a grab. But everybody else had the same idea, and we just thought, we can't be bothered to wait an hour to get a grab. So we just decided to brave it, and I have never been so drenched in my life, and I only had sandals on, so all my toes got all really wet because the roads were like starting to flood a little bit, so you couldn't not get your feet absolutely drenched. And I had an umbrella, so I didn't get as soaked as Chris, but Chris was absolutely dripping that when we got back he couldn't take his own t-shirt off because the weight of all the water in it was so heavy. So yeah, that was not fun. I'll quickly run through how much everything cost that I got. So the first thing was this loaf of sourdough. It is huge, as you can see. This sourdough doesn't contain any preservatives, so I normally keep it in the freezer because I mostly have it toasted. So I will then just take it out as and when I want a slice so that it doesn't go off. But it is one of the best loaves of bread that I found out here, and that is 300 pesos, and you can only pay cash or with Gcash or one of those methods. They don't accept card. Then from Santi's, we obviously got the sausages. So these are the English sausages with apple, and they are really fat sausages, so you get 4 in a pack. And then the normal English sausages, which are these ones. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in there, and I got 2 of those ones. And all the sausages came to 733 pesos, which for that amount of sausages I think is a really good price. And then from Landmark, everything at Landmark came to 2,220. So for that I got some organic lettuce, some potatoes, cucumber, 2 bars of Lindt dark chocolate, some tomato paste, 12 organic eggs. Then meat-wise, I got a pack of bacon, and I got 500 grams of beef mince. And then from the dairy section, I got a Greek yogurt for my breakfast. The mushrooms are in here. 2 bags of cheese, which I think cheese is expensive anywhere in the world, and whipped cream. So that's everything I got to feed us for the next couple of days. So that's the main places that I like to go food shopping. Landmark is probably our favourite. I mean, in BGC we are very lucky that we have so many different options of places that you can go supermarket shopping. In SM Ori you've got the SM store, SM supermarket, and I have found that the prices are better in there, but we personally don't like the quality of meat. We don't think the quality of meat is as good from that store. So we don't really go to that shop. In BGC you also have S&R and Landers. So S&R we have never personally been to, but for people that are familiar with Costco, it's meant to be very, very similar. So I think you have to have a membership, a yearly membership card, and I think you can buy things in bulk, and I know a lot of people go to S&R to buy their meat. The other shop that's kind of similar is Landers, which we do have a membership for, and I need to go across at some point because they stock British chocolate. So even though most of the supermarkets have Cadbury's in, when you look on the back of the Cadbury's, they're all made in different places. So there's some Cadbury's that's made in Malaysia, you can get Cadbury's that's made in Australia, and I think you can even get Cadbury's that's made in India in most places. But they all taste very different to British chocolate. And I think it's to do with they have to add extra preservatives in to try and prevent the chocolate from melting, because obviously it's a much hotter climate out here in Malaysia and in Australia. So in England, the chocolate is a little bit creamier. I think it's got a higher, has a higher milk and cream content. So I can personally tell the difference. So I need to go across to Landers at some point to see what British chocolate they've got in, because it's my favourite. Landers, I was sold that it was meant to be like Costco, but other than having a good selection of imported things, I don't really think it is the same as Costco. You can buy a couple of things in bulk, but not loads, and we've not really used our membership very much. We tried some of the meat from there and it was okay, but again, the meat that we like the most is the meat from Landmark. We think that they have the best butcher's section. They've got a really good variety. It seems to be a much better quality of meat and it seems to last a good few days. So yeah, like I said, there are so many options in BGC. We are extremely lucky to have so many options of places that you can go. And if you want to go to like a market for fruit and veg, outside Market, which is like one end of High Street, they have like an outside market bit where you can get fruit and vegetables. I know that people tell me about wet markets where you can get cheaper meat. I don't personally know if there is one in BGC or where the closest one is, so that's not something we've ever been to or ever experienced. We take advantage of the convenience, and that's partially why we obviously moved to BGC, because it is such a convenient place to live and there is just so many options of different places that you can walk to and get your grocery shopping. When it is raining really heavily, you can also order from Marketplace on Grab, so we have done that before. And again, Marketplace, the meat is nice. I just don't think they have as many options as they do in Landmark. For people that are thinking about moving out to the Philippines and have been interested in what's available in the supermarkets, the cost of things, how easy and convenient it is to get all of these things, I hope that this video has been helpful for you.